Hi, this is Bonnie with TLC Inspirations, and today I'm going to do a self-binding placemat for the first time. I've never done self-binding before. Um, so I've decided to do like a 4-square placemat. So I've got 3 contrasting fabrics, and I've sewn 2 pieces together and then the other 2 pieces together, arranging my squares the way I want them, and then sew those 2 pieces together. Be sure to press your seams, and then you'll have a 4-square placemat. Now the next thing is take those 4 squares after they're sewn together, and I took a piece of thin cotton batting and laid that behind it. So I've got my 4 squares face up and my batting laying underneath, and now I'm going to trim the batting to the same size as my potential placemat here. So I get a nice clean edge of my placemat with my batting underneath. By the way, my squares were cut at 8 by 10 inches, and the placemat will measure 19 by 15. Okay, so now we've got nice clean edges, and we've got a nice thin layer of batting. You can use a spray adhesive on the batting, between the batting and the fabric, to hold it in place, or you can pin it or baste it to hold it more secure. Now for the back part of our placemat, you're going to want to cut that larger, so it's going to be cut at 20.5 by 16.5, and you're going to lay it wrong side up, and then you're going to lay your placemat top and your batting on top of it. And the reason it's cut larger is because we want at least a 3/4 of an inch all the way around of our backing, because that's going to create the binding. So now we've got our placemat top and backing and batting all sandwiched together. And we want to make sure that we have a nice, like I said, at least a 3/4 inch all the way around of our backing. So the best way to do that is to take a ruler and take a disappearing ink marker and go around and mark, 3/4 of an inch. You can cut your, your excess a little larger if you want a wider binding on your placemat. But I want a nice thin, clean one. So once you've got it all aligned, you're going to want to pin it through the center seams and all around the edge, because we're going to do some basting to hold all 3 pieces together. Okay, so then take it over to your machine, and first you'll want to sew through your center seams, and then on the outer edge. And when you're sewing on the outer edge, I've got a regular presser foot here, and I'm on a long stitch, and I'm sewing as close to I can on the edge of the top piece of my placemat. So you'll want to, I also started at the seam, because then that way my fabric's not going to shift and end up puckering at my seams. So it kind of helps to work that excess fabric out if you've got any fabric kind of shifting. So you'll want to sew all the way around. Once you get to your corner, put your needle down and turn your fabric. This basting stitch is also going to show on the back side, so you're going to want to pull the basting stitch out at the end of the project. But go ahead and put it in, because you need it to hold your batting and everything in place. Now I'm going to attempt some stippling. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And I drew out just kind of a general idea of what I perceive it to be. It's just kind of a meandering of your stitches, and that's what creates the quilting. And now that we have our 3 pieces all securely in place, we are able to do some of this. So let's get started on that. I'm going to do work on only 1 square of my placemat at a time. So I'm going to take it over to my machine and start playing around with this stippling. So I've got, in order to do this, also you need an open toe presser foot, and you want to put your machine at 0 tension and your feed dogs down and your stitch length and width at 0, and then you want to just kind of keep your needle going at a fairly good speed and meander your fabric around. I don't advise doing this for your very first time on your project. I would definitely practice it on some scrap pieces, which is what I've been doing. And I'm still learning. I still have jumped stitches, and you know, my meandering isn't completely consistent yet, but I'm getting a feel for it, and I enjoy doing it. And so I encourage you to give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and it really gives a nice, pretty effect for quilting. So if you're brave enough, go ahead and try it. If not, you can use your regular presser foot and just do straight lines for quilting, or, you know, little wavy lines with your regular presser foot. Okay, now that we've finished that, we're moving on to our binding. So you fold it in on the edge once and then twice over the top of your placemat, and that's what's going to create our nice little binding, and we're going to top stitch that. Now for the corner, you just fold it in towards the edge that hasn't been folded in yet, and then you're going to do the same thing. Fold it to the edge of the placemat the first time, and then fold it over the top of the placemat the second time. So you're going to want to press this and pin it before you try to stitch it. And you're going to want to, you know, press it and pin it all the way around. Again, here's a close-up of the corner folded in from the rolled side to the unrolled side. And then you're going to roll the edge of that side in once, and then you're going to roll it over the top of the placemat second time. See what a nice corner it makes? I just really love what it does for the corners. They're nice and clean and easy to do. So press that all in and pin it all in. Okay, so now we've got it pinned, and we're ready to go stitch it. As you stitch, you can remove your pins. You'll want to stitch as close to the inner edge as possible, the edge where the binding meets the placemat. Okay, so now we're ready to stitch it. I'm at my machine. I've got my presser foot. I've got my stitch length set a little bit smaller, took it out of the basting stitch, so I'm going to stitch as close to the edge as I can, a regular top stitch, removing my pins as I go and keeping my fabric nice and smooth, or trying to anyway. Sometimes it's hard. Okay, so now we're all done. I've removed that earlier basting stitch, and you can see my stitch on the back side. You can see my stippling on the front side, and I believe I have a placemat. So now we're ready for Thanksgiving dinner, almost. Be sure to watch for my table runner, and I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thanks for watching.